One of the advantages being of panel is you get nice chairs, very comfortable. Good morning, everybody. We are going to talk about applications in the clouds, how to do it, when to do it, which one, and why to do it. Okay. The good news is it's a very good panel. We have representations of different practices, different platforms, and different offering that and also skills. So we have Hamad here. He represents Microsoft. If anybody heard from them, but more importantly, Microsoft offering currently for the cloud is more about platform. So we have a PAS representation, but Hamad is also very well-known and published writer of application development, and he will speak later about how to develop applications in the cloud. So we are very happy to have him here. Then we have also obviously Amit from Tata. You already heard from him. So that will, as you heard before, Tata is more into the IaaS, infrastructure. They provide infrastructure. Obviously, Tata is a very large service company, one of the largest in the world. And so obviously they have lots of skills, lots of experience dealing with various size, even large customers and large requirements. We also are very happy to have Zoho represented here with Sudhakar. Zoho is the application or software in the cloud. So they can provide you the CRM, the Office suite, the other things, as use service without you need to do anything. All you need is internet access. So that's another angle to them. And then you have people who can help you to manage the applications, Sham, and make sure that everything runs smoothly. And if you really need help how to migrate from your current environment to the cloud services, we have Justin from Pointstar. So let me, where am I from? I am from Guardtime. Guardtime is a small startup company. I will talk about it later. And what we provide is make sure you can trust your data, whether it is in cloud or not. So how to claim ownership and how to make advantage of trusting the data in the cloud. So let's start first. Let's start with obviously the gold or whatever platinum sponsors here. IaaS and Pragmatics of the cloud computing. So you deal with the large companies, you deal with the small companies, you provide the service as an infrastructure. What would be the typical scenarios where customers feel that they need or they are ready? And what are the common objections that they think they are ready but they are afraid to move?
That's a great question. So let me start with the common objections, right? Typically, the objections would be around security. That's the first one. I am going to take my data, I'm going to take my applications, I'm an end user, and hand it off to someone else to manage it for me, to run it for me. How secure are your systems? How secure is your data center? What about the network security? And everything surrounding that, right? So that's the most common objection that comes up. The cost factor and the savings, everybody gets that, right? The ability to repurpose resources, funding, capex, opex models, all of that is pretty simple. But to actually trust someone else, a different company with your data, perhaps with sensitive information, and to be actually able to say that yes, it's all safe and secure. That's the biggest objection, right? Now, in terms of the other part of the question, in terms of how do you actually, I think it's more along the adoption side of it that you talked about, right? When is it right for me? When should I start adopting? How should I go about that? I covered a little bit of it in my presentation, but just to elaborate further, and what is the typical use cases? So what we have been noticing is that in large enterprises, there are departments, there are sections of the organization that may have time-bound projects, that required extensive computerization, which would in the earlier days require us to have investments, very large investments in buying resources, setting them up, managing them, maintaining them. So a lot of effort and expenses goes towards setting up the IT infrastructure. Those companies today and those departments, those organizations actually have the flexibility of being able to use infrastructure as a service, so the time to market gets crashed. The infrastructure investments become an OPEX instead of CAPEX, and they can focus more on their business innovation rather than trying to manage an IT infrastructure and the procurement cycle, the people. Let's not forget about